Welcome. In today's discussion, we're diving into the latest developments in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, particularly focusing on recent military actions in the Kursk region. This area has seen intensified clashes as both sides vie for control, and the implications of these encounters are significant for the broader landscape of the conflict. Let's explore the details. The Ukrainian armed forces continue to make concerted efforts to penetrate Russian military positions in the Glushkovsky region of Kursk, as reported by the Russian Ministry of Defense. This region has become a focal point of contention, with Ukrainian troops striving to liberate forces stranded in the Koronevsky and Sukhansky districts. Russian military officials have indicated that these attempts are crucial for improving the strategic situation for Ukrainian forces operating in the area. On October 31st, a new offensive was launched by Ukrainian troops near the town of Noputut. However, this effort was met with resistance from a group known as the Sevr. After a fierce 2-hour battle, Ukrainian forces suffered significant losses, ultimately retreating towards the Sumy region. The Russian military attributed these setbacks to effective artillery fire and air support, which inflicted heavy casualties on the Ukrainian side. According to official Russian sources, approximately 80 Ukrainian soldiers were killed, along with the destruction of 10 heavy equipment pieces, including 2 German Leopard tanks. The reports further allege that NATO forces have been actively participating alongside the Ukrainian military in their operations within the Glushkovsky sector. The combined losses reported by the Russian Ministry of Defense include around 400 Ukrainian and NATO personnel, alongside substantial equipment losses, including armored combat vehicles and infantry fighting vehicles. In a significant statement at a United Nations meeting on October 30th, Vili Nebenzia, Russia's permanent envoy, claimed that NATO soldiers are directly involved in the fighting alongside Ukrainian forces. He asserted that the West can no longer deny this collaboration and emphasized the high toll it takes on NATO personnel, stating that Russian forces are reportedly killing hundreds of NATO soldiers daily in Ukraine. Nebenzia also mentioned that videos documenting these fatalities and the capture of NATO personnel are surfacing online, further highlighting the dire situation. As discussions at the United Nations evolve, attention has turned to North Korean soldiers allegedly arriving in Russia. Russian diplomats have suggested this narrative serves to deflect attention from NATO's involvement in the conflict on behalf of Ukraine. A senior Russian ambassador remarked that the West has begun attributing the deaths of its senior military officers to accidents, such as heart attacks or falls, following each Russian missile strike. However, Russian officials contend that these claims are misleading, asserting that many senior Western commanders were indeed killed in targeted Russian strikes on key Ukrainian facilities. Independent war journalists operating in the Kursk region report that Russian forces are systematically dismantling the capabilities of NATO and Ukrainian troops in areas such as Koronevsky and Swansky. They note that on October 30th, Russian military units successfully rescued and evacuated 20 civilians from the Glushkovsky, Koronevsky, and Swansky districts, highlighting their commitment to safeguarding civilian lives while conducting military operations. In a disturbing development, the official Russian telegram channel, Severny Veda, has accused the Ukrainian army of committing war crimes. They allege that Ukrainian forces have resorted to utilizing captured Russian soldiers as human shields in attacks on Russian positions. Reports indicate that these captured soldiers are bound with explosives and forced to march towards Russian troops, resulting in deadly explosions when they reach the front lines. This behavior has prompted strong condemnation from Russian officials, who have labeled the Ukrainian army as murderers and cowards, calling for global action against such violations. As Ukrainian forces face mounting challenges in both the Donbass and Kursk regions, independent military analysts are reporting a troubling increase in war crimes attributed to Ukrainian troops. Compounding the situation, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky recently rejected a proposal from General Alexander Syrsky to withdraw troops from the Kursk area in order to stabilize conditions in Donbass. Zelensky emphasized the need for his military commanders to seek alternative strategies for managing the conflict without compromising the battalion stationed in Kursk. Sources close to the Kyiv government suggest that Zelensky's decision is driven by political considerations rather than military strategy. The Ukrainian president is reportedly keen on maintaining a visible military presence in the Kursk region, even at the expense of strategic gains elsewhere. It has been reported that he expressed a willingness to prioritize control over a small section of the Kursk territory over larger areas in Donbass, demonstrating a commitment to his public relations strategy amid the conflict. As we analyze these developments, it becomes increasingly clear that the situation in the Kursk region remains volatile and complex, with potential implications for both Ukrainian and NATO forces involved in the conflict. The unfolding events are crucial not only for the immediate military outcomes but also for the broader geopolitical landscape in Eastern Europe.